Hello every pony, welcome to my last video that I'll ever make about My Little Pony. I have to stop at some point. I honestly just really wanted an excuse to do my take because I've seen a lot of it on TikTok, I've seen a million of them on YouTube. I would like to take a crack at it. In the first video, I spun on this roulette wheel to choose what character to do. Now in this video, I'm designing the last three. If you'd like to take a look at the first one, go ahead and do that. But enough with the intro, let's just get into it, okay? Spin that wheel! Spin that wheel! Yes! Rainbow Dash is my favorite! Let's go! Starting off strong. So, there's actually a lot of ways that I could have gone for her design. To help put all my thoughts together, I used Milano for not just Rainbow Dash, but for every single one of these horses that I am unhorsing. So I genuinely use Milano for a lot of creative projects. That's why I'm happy to say they are today's sponsors. It is literally a free resource for you to go mess around in, and it's super easy to use. So let me show you my process on creating all of these in Milano. It's an online canvas designed to help you plan, brainstorm, and even collaborate on ideas. And seeing all of my references and ideas organized rather than bouncing around in my head helps a lot more than you think. And there are a lot of different templates that are there for you. All of mine are basically mood boards, but there's also like creative briefs, there's project plans, storyboards. They literally have tons of different templates if you need a jumping off point. But me, I just like to go into a blank board and regurgitate all of these images that I want to use. Since a lot of mine are mood boards, they're mainly images. They do have this Chrome extension, which I recommend heavily, that helps me save images to my board without having to screenshot anything, to save them to my computer, or copy and paste every single image. It's just right there in the corner, or right click on an image, click whatever board you want to save it to. And then after you're done saving these images, over on the right side, you can just drag and drop them in. I can be very specific. I can title sections of reference images for like hair and poses. With the amount of tools they have, it's very simple, but you can do so much. If you want to mess around in Milano for yourself, it's really easy to jump into and absolutely free to use with no time limit. You can make your account using my link in the description and start exploring your creativity. I will have all my little boards in the corner so you can kind of see my vision before I'm drawing it. Let's get into the speed paint, shall we? Do I have a reason for why Rainbow Dash is my favorite? No. She's just cool, guys. She's not like other girls, so I probably... I picked her out as my favorite when I first watched the show, and it just hasn't changed since then. I knew that, just like every other My Little Pony design out there, I wanted Rainbow Dash to have that Adam Sandler fit going on. But Rainbow Dash is like pretty sporty, and then I remembered, I don't know how to draw a baseball hat. Now that I'm watching this back, I kind of regret not giving her sunglasses. I wasn't sure whether to give her like a bulky kind of jacket up top, but I decided I love the look of a graphic tee over like a hoodie or like a long sleeve. Just like the others, I wanted to add some accessories, a belt. A lot of these redesigns, Rainbow Dash is very vibrant. A lot of them go overboard with the rainbow, but I mean, her name is literally Rainbow Dash, but I wanted it to be colorful still, but also muted so that it doesn't really stand out with the other designs, because they usually only have like 3 or 4 colors in their color palette, but Rainbow Dash is rainbow colors, so I want a way to make it look not so bright. Because I gave her an oversized tee, I was like, well, obviously it has to be a graphic tee. But I didn't just want to put her cutie mark on it. I don't know, I felt like that was kind of lame and lazy. So I did put her cutie mark on her hat. But what I did with her shirt was, she's obsessed with the Wonderbolts. And did I have to look up what they were called because it's been years since I watched the show. Absolutely fucking kind of. So I looked up a bunch of old, like, graphic tees, and a lot of the ones that I was like, oh, that feels like her, I was leaning towards was NASCAR. They're the Wonderbolts, and they fly. They're not really race car drivers. There's a thing called air races. So yeah, is Rainbow Dash gonna end up being a pilot? Yes, she is. Why wouldn't she have a flying license? She's a Pegasus. I was drawing the design for the Wonderbolt shirt on the side here. When I put it on her shirt, I realized she's crossing her arms, so you can't even see half the damn thing. Anyway, they're planes. Just to add like a little more detail into the shirt, I put 10 on each of her shoulders. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic was made in, you guessed it, 2010. I would imagine that Rainbow Dash is not good about touching up her roots. So I gave her a hat, and when you wear a hat, when are you not wearing a ponytail? They're literally ponies. And at this point, I was like, oh my god, how come I gave none of the ponies a ponytail? I had to give it to my girl, RD. Dude, I'm never doing a My Little Pony video again. Sometimes I catch myself saying the shit that I'm saying, and I can't. Ugh! Anyway, would you look at Rainbow Dash? Didn't she turn out so cute? She's literally my favorite, but for some reason, not my favorite design that I've done. But we'll save that for later, okay? Time to spin the fucking wheel. Whee! It's literally a 50-50, so... Okay, Fluttershy! I can do Fluttershy! And I will! So, let's see Fluttershy's board. Immediately, my thought went to, like, cottagecore, like, cozy, mainly, like, dresses and skirts, maybe some floral. I had a lot of ideas for clothes. In Milano, you have the option to draw on not just images, but also the whole board in itself if you'd like to just write some notes on there or circle some things like I did. This way, I was able to highlight things that I wanted to include, like this scarf. I did save quite a bit. Because I'm so indecisive about the clothes, I added this little to-do list. All of the elements that I wanted to have within her design, and I kind of check those off as like, this is a must in her design. But that is her board in mind. Let's get into the drawing. I wanted to make sure that they all had different body types. A lot of redesigns, I see her being like very tall and skinny and frail because that's how she is in the show. When you see like flashbacks of her as a child, she's tall and skinny. Didn't want to do that. I think gentle giant is more of her vibe. I wanted her silhouette to still be like very tall and long. I wanted that long skirt. I wanted long hair. What she would wear when she's like working with animals or like out in the garden or something. I definitely could have gone a completely different direction and done those like a pastel goth kind of vibe. Do you remember those like fan edits, Disney characters like goth and punk? People would do that with Fluttershy, and I don't know if there was ever an episode that actually like made her emo, but they did make her a vampire once. I love when people do the more edgier Fluttershy, but I ended up loving how she turned out. I think it's very her. I did do kind of a cheat and I just did like a texture overlay for her clothes, but I think after I added them, it made it feel a lot more cozy, which is exactly what I wanted for Fluttershy. I wanted her clothes to just be comfortable. And in the show, she actually does, from what I remember, know a lot about fashion. So I would imagine that Fluttershy likes to go thrifting. She's giving kind of grandma core as well. So this is my grandma. I mean, this is Fluttershy. I think she turned out adorable. Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it. Jeez, guys, I wonder who we're gonna... Oh my god, it's Applejack. Who would have thought? here are my thoughts. Also, did you know that you can add GIFs in here and they'll play? Don't know why, but I couldn't find a transparent image of Applejack, so I put a bunch of GIFs of her in here. This is very sped up, so it looks kind of silly. Major cowboy vibes. I knew for a fact that I wanted her to have assless chaps. I think I can just call them chaps. I don't think I have to say that they're assless. I like the flared kind of pant leg, and chaps give that perfect silhouette. I eat up the cowboy theme so hard. I'm thinking red boots. I'm thinking Carhartt. I'm thinking bandanas. When I was doing this board, I'm like, okay, well, where am I gonna put her, like, cutie mark? Where am I gonna have some apples in her design? And immediately my mind went to belt buckles, and I literally found the perfect belt buckle. Yeah, that's going front and center in the board. That's literally her. Don't think I mentioned, but in all of these images that I'm saving either from Pinterest or Google or wherever, they will have a link down at the bottom for you to go find where you got it originally if ever need to backtrack that. Or if you're like me and I just want to look at the pictures, they have a thing on the side where you get rid of the caption or you can bring it back. I feel like it might have been obvious, but I kind of wish someone told me about that. Also, if you want to share your board with anyone, you just generate your link right here and send it off. You can allow edits to your board if you're collaborating with someone, or you can keep it to your eyes only if you're like presenting it. If you want it to be super secret, you can make it require a password. There are so many ways that you can export your boards. For me, I really only need a PNG. I just need a big picture and it formats it so that everything in your board can be seen at the same time. So I don't know about you, but I am very excited to draw a cowgirl. I mean, Applejack. I know that Applejack was one of the most, like, hated main six, but I think that's because they didn't really focus on her that much. I don't know if people hate her now, but if you know me, there are two things that I love. Vampires and cowboys. That is it. I love her so much. I wanted her to have kind of like a stocky build because she's literally a farmer, but yes, her nails are painted. I want to keep her, I was going to say braid, but she literally doesn't have a braid. She's got like the anime dead mom hair. I wanted to give her a really long braid, just like a horsey. When they braid the horsey's hair. Just like the ponies, their hooves are like thicker at the bottom. So I kind of wanted to keep that silhouette with all of them. But then I threw that out the window with Fluttershy, so nothing matters. With Applejack, I kind of got a little carried away with just the whole cowboy of it all. The only apple thing that I gave her was this belt buckle. Literally the only apple thing. Maybe instead of paisley on her bandana, I could have done apples. In my board, I wanted to give her a denim jacket, and I was like, the back will have embroidery. Girl, you're not showing her back. Hello? So just imagine her little Carhartt jacket has a big embroidered apple on the back, okay? Her design ended up being my favorite. She just turned out so stinking cute, and I love a cowboy, and what do I turn a horse girl into a horse girl? If you haven't seen the first part and you would like to, do it now because this is a final reveal. We're gonna see the entire lineup. I've been waiting for this since the last video. I'm so excited. Here they all are in their glory, and oh my gosh, I love them so much. I love doing this as like a kind of exercise. I have to draw them interacting. Let me know which one ended up being your favorite. I hope this video inspired you in some way, or at least entertained you, make sure you're subscribed. And if you're curious about Milanote, use the link in my description. It's literally free. I find it a really helpful tool, even if it wasn't sponsored. This outro is too long. Bye.